Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another awesome day of BTS America's action. We are getting ready to close out the quarterfinals here, as it's going to be Power of Friendship going up against Team Infamous. I'll give you a brief look at my terrible production values. We look at the bracket here. The awaiting them in the next round, Digital Chaos. So it's going to be a big feat ahead of them here, but we're getting down to the wire right now. We'll hop back into the draft. I'm KotLGuy, bringing you the English coverage on behalf of Beyond the Summit. But I'm not going to be going at it alone. I got back with me one of my best casting friends in the whole world. I'm so happy to have him back by my side. It's going to be none other than the Mautistic one himself. Maut, my friend, how you doing today?
I'm feeling autistic, man. I'm feeling good. It's good to be back here with you. It's been a long time. Of course, it's NA Dota, which always means we're gonna have a good time and watch some shenanigans, some all chat, some good stuff, and the play style of Infamous, which is run at you and essentially just try to fight as much as possible. So I'm very excited to be here, watching both these teams go toe to toe.
This is going to be good. It's like a throwback to our roots, Maut, when we're casting like NEL. We've seen a lot of these players for a long time. For those of you who don't know, Infamous is obviously pretty much Team Unknown under a different name. A lot of familiar faces there that we even saw at Frankfurt. Z-Talk, Stinger, Greedy, Kotaro Hayama, and Excel. I'm actually super surprised they all are using their appropriate name, all in uniform. Yeah. This is huge. They barely made it in. Like, I'm talking down to seconds before they got an auto def loss because of tardiness, but they made it in, and they're dressed appropriately, and this makes me very happy, Maut. But look at this. This is the team on the other side, Power of Friendship. This is like the little rascals of the American scene right now. Who's left? Who can we get together and make a team? And today, Maut, they have a couple of extra stand-ins. We knew this team originally to have Ush. Well, last time they had a gentleman by the name of Poop, who was pretty damn good. Now this time, we have Slicks here, Maut. Slicks from Han.
Yeah, the legend. Back in the day, this guy has played on a couple of teams. I think he was formerly of N9, Natural 9, which that was a long time ago, way back in like TI2 kind of days. And so he's been around. Maybe not. Maybe he was. No. All right, I'm thinking of somebody else. Okay, well, already off to a good start. Anyways, let's just segue that immediately. No, Slicks has been playing for Stake recently. He's done a really good job, I think. He played very well with them, but now he's standing in for Power Friendship. You're right, they used to have Ush, but he's left the team, I think, since then. Mario has been around for a long time. He's the manager of a couple of teams, coach for a couple of teams, in particular Team Tinker. MGW is one of the best offlaners, I think, in America right now. He's played a lot of, he's played for a lot of different teams. We don't really have to talk about Way2 and Staking because they've been around forever. By the way, you talked about Infamous being nicked up correctly. That's actually happened for a couple of weeks, I think. Back during the qualifiers for Shanghai, they weren't nicked up correctly, and then eventually, like one day in Canada Cup, they all came in, and they had all of their real names. I'm like, what's happening? It's a Christmas miracle. I am super happy. But, yeah, it's good.
I feel like they might have gotten, like, a PR guy, and he came in and was just like, listen, you little shits, boom, and just smacked them together, and we're like, you're going to go in with your names, you got to sell yourself, you got to be able to have your own stock rise. If you want to be able to make, fans, there are people out there who love Kotaro Hayama for his ballsy, crazy play, but they never know when he's playing because he's using a different name every goddamn time. So I think they're finally getting it, but let's actually talk about the game before us here. A lot of popular grabs, so a lot of interesting first bans that have led us to this. It's been Power Friendship who have been able to snag up a Faceless Void in their second pick phase along with the Invoker now, and Infamous put their first pick onto the, highly touted North American scene offlane Enchantress. And then they're going to be following it up with an early TA here. So who do you think got the better of the first, grabs here, Maut?
It's tough because I feel like all four of these heroes are very strong. I'm not sure if TA was a necessary first pick. Might have gotten banned out in the second phase, but Infamous, they've been playing a lot of different heroes. They played Puck a lot for Kotaro Hayama. He's done a great job with a couple of heroes in the mid lane. So TM, I'm not sure if it was necessary to pick. Now, obviously, Enchantress is very good, but Faceless Void is so good in the off lane. It's so really difficult to kill him, to bring him down because of the time walk. If Power Friendship can get a couple more decent magic nukes, they'll be okay against the Enchantress because obviously right-clicking her is very difficult once you have a couple of levels untouchable. They'll pick up the CM, which is also very good against the Enchantress. Take down a couple of creeps as well with your Frostbite. Just a good hero in general. The CM ulti, I think, has gotten a lot better. And I like this draft from Power Friendship for right now. They can get the Chronosphere plus the Sunstroy combination, Frostbite, Sunstroy combination. So they have some pretty good team fight and pretty good synergy between these three heroes already.
If it was EG, I wouldn't put it past him to even consider the Clinks later on, to be able to grab that. You could still Death Pact even Enchantress's creeps if those are still out there, and then we already know the impact he can make outside of the Chrono, so we'll see if Power Friendship consider grabbing up something like that. Do like the second set of phase bans coming out from Infamous. You get rid of some of the best supports to go along with the Faceless Void, getting rid of the Witch Doctor, getting rid of even the Skywrath Mage, a throwback to TI4 there, but look at who managed to slip through all of those early bans and picks and still ripe for the taking, and Earth Spirit shows up. I already went into a bit of my own opinion about the recent nerf to him and how much of an impact it makes. In a nutshell, I think it really doesn't do anything. Barely, you know, it's not very often at all that Earth Spirit is even able to get the luxurious Agnum Scepter. More often than not, he's going to make an impact in the early game, in the mid game, and that has not changed about him at all.
Yeah, that was, I was noticing that change as well, and I was like, yeah, there's just no way an Earth Spirit usually gets an Agnum Scepter unless the game goes late, or if you're farming Earth Spirit, which is like never the case. We'll see it. I think like we outplayed it mid once way back in MDL. That wasn't that great also. So that changes really. The only thing is that you can't pull now. Like pretty much you have to be right next to the person. So it's like there's no point in pulling the person, right? You get next to the person, you kick him, and that's it. Where it used to be you get Ags, you pull the person from across the map, then you kick him further across the map back into like your own base, but that's not going to happen anymore. So I mean, the Earth Spirit's still great, and the reason he's good is because he has that level 1 advantage of rolling boulder, and if he gets off the Orb of Venom as well, all of a sudden that's a huge slow. It's a lot of damage, very good chase potential, and they're going to be able to set it up with the Nightmare now as well. So there's a lot of ganking potential from the Earth Spirit and Bane coming out, and with TA getting right click damage, they should be able to kill Invoker or whoever. If they can get a silence off, especially against the Faceless Void, that's the most important thing, is getting a geomagnetic grip off of Faceless Void. I can't.
Yeah, the Ebola spreads. It makes it a mouthful. I have had many a trouble. I love the hero to death, and I still can't say. I'm like, and he does the kick and the pull. Just really nerf it down. Bane, though, as you said, wonderful setup for the team and can contest Faceless Void jumping in and maybe getting an isolation pick onto anyone, but I can't help but feel like Infamous are going to be a bit pressured to get a lot done in the early part of this game. Enchantress needs to have a good time, so they better prepare for the fact that Power Friendship are probably going to look to invade early on, maybe even block out her precious camp, so they got to be ready to defend that. So expect possibly a lot of contention towards the top rune there. And then, of course, Earth Spirit needs to kind of, well, you know, no pun intended, get the ball rolling on kind of setting something up at the start, whether it's asserting dominance for the mid lane TA to snowball with her, you know, Desolator later on. It's just, I feel like a clock could be ticking for the lineup here. But Power Friendship also have pulled out a great mid-game fight setup right now. They don't go for the Clinks, I said before. They get the Gyrocopter, which is fantastic. Great team fight. Hefty magical burst, and no real dedicated BKB heroes inside of Infamous. I mean, TA can get one, but you usually, especially with this kind of lineup, you want to be snowballing more. So I'm really curious to see what Infamous are going to do to round things up, but it is Power Friendship with the next pick.
Well, they're aggressive. I think if Infamous go for a pick that is a little bit more of an aggressive hero, like an Ursa, for example, I would not be surprised to see that. We've seen a lot of Nature's Prophets for Stinger, but it looks like this time he will be playing the Enchantress. They switched some things up. Greedy used to be the offlaner for Infamous, but on their run to the Losers Bracket Final in Canada Cup, where they beat Archon, they 2-1 Digital Chaos. They've been playing with a lot of an aggressive lineup. So we'll maybe see one of those early kind of oriented. I would have said Jug would have been good, but they banned it out last phase, which I think was very good from Power Friendship. So something like an Ursa, probably not.
Like a Slark, I don't think that'll be. Is a Slark too crazy?
Slark will work fine too. Or they'll just go Medusa, which, I mean, is kind of good early game to a certain extent. He's got good team fight, but also very good late game. Was not expecting that, but it is Excel playing it. That might be a misclick because Excel is usually the support player for Infamous, so I don't know what the hell's happening. But Power Friendship did pick up the inning, but there's a lot of team fight over there. That's all I wanted to say.
A lot of questionable identity here for Infamous. I don't know if they're looking to change things up. Maybe they'll do a last-minute swap, but that feels like a little bit.
How is Kotar going to play the Bane? Kotar's not going to play the Bane. That's
what is
like,
happening
what the
here?
Hell?
Yeah, they're definitely pulling a fast one. They got to be. Maybe they're all sporting proper names, but they changed all their names or something. I don't want to be digging too deep, but this
that actually would be the funniest thing. Oh my god,
that would be next level troll. You know what? That may be. I wonder if they're. Could they really pull that off?
No, there's no way.
I don't know. Okay,
no,
well,
that's not. That didn't happen. There's no way that happened. As funny as that would be, Dakota, I don't think that's actually the case. And they might swap things back around. We'll see. Let's see. Greedy's playing Enchantress. Kotaro's playing the Bane. Is this going to be a core Bane? I want to see a core Bane. Excel's playing the Medusa, so that's something that's happening.
Around.
All right, they swapped. All right, you know what? Listen, I got really excited for like half a second, and then they're like, "Shut up, Maut, you're an idiot." Mautism, Kappa.
Well,
all right.
So as it stands, we'll get underway. It's game number 1 of this best-of-3 matchup. It's the final match in the quarterfinals right now. Winner moves on to face the waiting Digital Chaos squad right now. And after barely being able to make it into the lobby, Infamous are here. They're ready to play, and we'll have to see if their game plan is going to be going, because with the late Medusa pickup, you can't help but feel like it's a bit of a conflict of interest as far as their typical play style and even the first 4 picks they had pulled out. So I hope for their sake they could pull up enough space between those other 4 that this Medusa can be the late game insurance policy, because she is the best late gamer here by far, but it's being able to get there is the challenge.
I don't know, man. I feel like Medusa gets a bad rap for being able to team fight early. With it, like Mystic Snake has been buffed a lot. That does a ton of damage, and with her ultimate especially as well. And getting phase boots, like she could pump out a lot of damage in an early team fight. Does she want to fight early? Not really. I mean, but if she has to, she will. What she shouldn't do is walk here in the river with MJW nearby. Slicks is just going to be like, I have Sunstrike. Yeah, you better pop that Mana Shield. There's the time lock Crystal Nova.
What is happening? Oh my goodness. This is not the start you want to be having as a Medusa right now. Maut, she's getting smacked around, and she's going to be forced to salve up. Now she has no mana, and she has a level 1 spell shield.
And that costs a little bit of mana coming out for Power of Friendship, but like, they're super happy with that. Because there's no mana now on this Dusa. Which means that the harass, if they decided to dual lane down bottom with MJW +1, this Deuce would have such a rough time, because Stinger's the only one down here, but I think they're just going to keep a solo lane here, and MJW won't be able to get that much done against Excel, but we'll see.
Looks like they were already able to spot out a D ward here. Mario's going to be able to grab that one up, so it looks like they will be a little bit in the dark as far as rotations go. Bottom lane, Bane trying his best to zone back the mighty Faceless Void, but as we all know, that Time Walk just seems to always be a get-out-of-jail-free card, and unless you have like the double set of lockdown here, which Bane alone might not be enough, he would have to get pretty reckless here to hand over a kill. I imagine this Faceless Void is going to get everything he needs out of the lane here, but in the same response, we have to see if Infamous are going to be a bit more roam-heavy here. Greedy gets the first camp there on the side, the new one that was put in, but now falls over the second, and they're going to go right away to the top lane, and it's a swing and a miss. Zetok not going to be able to get the catch with the rolling boulder here, but with the net, with some right click, no Orb of Venom either on Zetok, so I guess maybe he had to buy a lot of wards in the chicken, but he has no boots or Orb of Venom. It's a bit unusual for an early Earth Spirit.
If he had hit that rolling boulder, that's first blood easy. No way about it. Because that Thunderclap, you saw how much damage that did? That is 150 damage early on in the game. That's like half of Snake King's HP. Well, not half, but it does a lot with Greedy's right click. And yeah, you're right. Also, the Orb of Venom might have been able to secure the kill as well. And he could buy it from the side shop, I believe. So there's kind of interesting that he's not getting that. That's like one of the most picked up items for, well, hold that thought, rolling boulder in. And Snake King actually might die here. That's slow. There's the Thunderclap. There's the boulder smash. And that's it, Dakota. That's the threat of the Earth Spirit.
We'll take a moment right now to respect his wishes as we'll get a time on the field. We'll take a moment right now, Maut. But the benefit of that also, it's just so nice to have ganking with you, is that Enchantress with all those precious creeps. You wouldn't even have thought that a rocket barrage was dished out there because it was just all mitigated so nicely. So Infamous being able to keep up the pressure up here is definitely required, and it took 2 tries, but they were able to get the kill, and they will be bringing down the Mighty King a peg.
And this is the problem when you have a jungling Enigma, because your tri-laner is just, it's non-existent, right? Like, you have to deal with aggressive play coming out. Yes, Gyrocopter's very good early on in the game, but level 1 Rocket Barrage doesn't do much, especially with creeps around like you talked about. The CM wasn't there. She didn't skill up Frostbite level 1. She instead went Crystal Nova. I think that was to stop the gank earlier, and I don't know if that's really... She's going to hit too soon, man, but this is a big problem because you're not getting Frostbite, and you're not going to have your early Arcane Aura. She's going to have to get it at 3, so that mana regeneration is not going to be there either, which I think is a huge deal.
Yeah, this is a team that definitely would love to be using a lot of the blue bar there. I mean, you're talking constant Rocket Barrages, maybe to harass back. Enigma in the jungle could certainly benefit from the extra mana boost to be able to be more efficient, which, speaking of which, it looks like he's doing very good. I mean, it's about to hit 3 minutes, and he's nearly 4.5, so he is on great speed here, but not really surprised considering he hasn't been contended whatsoever. But, you know, it's a lot of benefit that's not going to be there at the start. And a fun little side note here, I want to make sure there's not going to be another gank to this top lane. It looks like it will be a little bit of a calm, but I haven't personally been able to cast a lot of Slick's play, and I know Invoker is not a Han hero, so I'm curious to see how good his Invoker is.
I think he's played it before. I'm pretty sure he's played it before. I think I saw a game, when
I'm
they
sure
were
he's
playing
played a lot.
SK.
I know he's been in Dota now for quite a while, but I know it's something that he doesn't have previous experience with, whereas a lot of mid laners now playing Invoker since, some of them playing Invoker since Dota 1, when he had like 30,000 spells. So,
Boulders, top lane.
There's the freeze, and Z-Talk, he will go down. He tried to live there on the back end. Greedy trying to assist him with the Nature's Attendance, but it's not going to be enough, Maut.
See, that's the difference, right? No creep, level 2 rocket barrage, easy kill, right? That's all there is to it. You have a creep there, you have like a Hellbear Smash or something like that. That gank gets that much easier for Infamous. They don't lose that hero in the process, and so that you just need to use your enchant wisely. And Greedy, knowing that there is Frostbite now, is just like, well, I mean, I lose the creep, but if I had it there, then maybe I would have helped Z-Talk survive. Z-Talk will rotate mid lane, by the way. He's going to go for the boulder. Smash doesn't have a boulder put down, so he actually doesn't go very far like you usually see.
He dropped it, but he rolled in front of it, and I guess he didn't actually end up hitting the boulder. So the boulder roll wasn't there. Very awkward, and unfortunately that opportunity also will be gone. But maybe he's waiting to put that stone back to use, it looks like, and he's going to kick it. He'll hit Slicks a bit, and Kotaro will try to use a bit of a haster to harass him, but it's not going to be ideally what they had wanted originally when the, Mighty Earth Spirit showed up in the lane. Let's touch base with
Frostbite top lane, Sunstrike. It's gonna hit. Rocket Barrage, easy kill there. Coming out, and now Power Friendship are things starting to find their rhythm here, Dakota.
Yeah, good grab for them. Takes Enchantress down. She was at her solo, so this lane opens wide up here for Sneaking to kind of go back into work. While Z-Talk, it would appear, is making up pretty hefty stacks here for a Kotaro to kind of go into later. Now that Kotaro, though, has reached his level 6 Maut, there is no sentry in the mid lane at the moment, so Slicks doesn't really know where the traps are down, and if he's able to get off a couple of traps and take it to the high ground here, he could get a surprising kill onto the Invoker, so he has to play it a bit passively in the meantime.
Yeah, especially if Z-Talk is around. And the good thing is they have this Observer Ward here, but it is about to run out on the Dire side. So now it gets a bit more dangerous for Slicks, obviously. This is what I talked about, though. That gank was with the Sunstrike included coming out from Slicks the Invoker. So if they can continue to do that, especially on this top lane, and stop the Enchantress from snowballing, they'll be in a very good spot. She's almost level 6, but in terms of farm, she's doing okay. She's actually doing much better than the offlane faces forward, but that's actually not that surprising considering she can jungle more effectively. She has her creeps to work with, and MJW doesn't have an Iron Talon or anything along those lines. He doesn't have his treads up. He's got his Chronosphere, so they might try to set up yet another gank with Sunstrike. Instead, they might go for Z-Talk here in the jungle and Kotaro Ayama as well.
Lots of contention towards the 6-minute rune. They get the lockdown for Kotaro, the Sunstrike, and they're going to be able to take down the TA. A nice quick pick there for Power of Friendship. They'll take what they need, and they'll turn right back out. And it's just a flawless execution there. All back at bottom, while MJW sees that there's a lot of commotion towards the top. He knows that he is a 1v1, and he's going to try to kind of bring dominance for himself back into the lane. But as you said, man, the Mystic Snake can do a lot of work, has 3 points into it, and he's forced all the way back at this point. So Medusa,
yeah, he took some damage. He had a time walk away. He time walked forward just to mitigate a lot of that damage. So he tried to go aggressive, but he's in like, I'm a faceless void. I have like 50 damage. I'm hitting like a wet noodle against her mana shield. Now Dusa has some face boots as well. So Excel's doing great down bottom. 32 last hits. There is 58 last hits coming up for the Enigma. So that is a very fast farmed Enigma, who is currently level 7. And he'll continue to make up Eidolons. Mario's nearby as well. They might actually go for a smoke here, as they have one on way 2. They've got Black Hole, and a kill would be nice for them to pick up, a 4th kill of the game, and it looks like they will do that. And they're not even going to smoke for this. They're going to wrap around and kill Greedy. That is a dead hero.
He is very far forward. Easy setup, Frostbite and Sunstrike, and she's trying her best to heal through all the pain, but it's not going to matter. Just way too much DPS going to be coming up between the 3 of them, plus some Eidolons. Might as well segue this to a bit of a push towards this tier 1 tower, and now Infamous are in a bit of a rut right now. This was a lineup where at least it looked like they were going to need to be able to get the most out of this early game. Breaking even's bad enough, but now falling behind, they're going to have to find some way to pull out a bit of a trump card right now. It looks like that they have huge stacks here for the TA. That's a great start. And then maybe if she's able to kind of funnel all this economy into some huge like Desolator damage, and they can pull it back that way. But right now, it's a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, this is the big thing too, is Power Friendship. They won't get the tower, but they will have the mech coming out here pretty soon for way too. Once they have that, they have even further of an advantage. Slicks is going to have a Midas on their side as well, which will be pretty important. Bottom lane, there's... Oh, Excel almost died. I think they hit a Sunstrike. I think the Chronosphere came out. It did. MJW was actually just barely able to not get that kill. It was close. Excel will survive. I think a lot of it had to do with his mana pool and his mana shield, giving him at least a little bit of reduction, and so he'll survive. But that was a close pickup, it looks like.
It will force Medusa all the way back towards the lane, so it's almost like as if she might as well be dead to kind of make the long journey. So MJW gets to go right back to work here. It looks like straight to power treads for him, and he'll get back into the grind. Him and Way2 both can peak at the same moment here, and then that's when really Power of the Friendship can open this game right up. But here's a move coming out from Infamous here. Looking to go on the offensive. They will begin to creep. This Earth Spirit not level 6 yet. Having the Magnetize would be big, but he's going to go for the Valiant roll onto Slicks right now. Sets it up. There's the stun. There's the sap, and he'll be able to get the kill. No mech yet means there will not be the save. How can they make it out with their life? Snaking looking to go in. Going to be committing the call down now. Z-Talk needs to make it out. He's got the roll in 1 more second, and he is out of there. So it is a successful pickoff.
Snakey couldn't get forward because the side trap came beautifully from Kotaro Hayama. He said, listen, I got your back, Z-Talk. Just run right on out of there. Slow him down with my side trap placed up on the high ground. They did a great job. It's a good gank coming out. It'll slow, I think, the Invoker's timing for his minus, which is very important. But it is still just the 1 kill. They didn't get Kotaro involved, which is also very important. But this does mean that they give more room for Excel down bottom, as I think the Void had to go back home as well. So they're not ganking up on this Medusa. They're going to rotate a couple of heroes now with the Smoke of Deceit gank. They have Black Hole at the ready. They've got Frostbite. Not level 6, though, for the CM. If she had it, that would be an easier kill. Black Hole into CM ulti is great, but Excel might get caught here.
No chrono either, but they easily walk in. Stone Gaze is going to be popped here, so they'll have to turn their back, though. 2 of them will be petrified. Now is not going to be enough space here for Excel to make it away. They're still hustling for it right now. They got the freeze. Greedy shows up, but I don't think he's going to be doing enough. Oh, he tried to get the efficient grab, but it's a swing and a miss. He will not be able to get that catch, so they have to 180 themselves back and away. An unsuccessful gank coming out for Power of Friendship.
Oh, God. Way2, my friend. What happened? No.
Radiant's top tower.
Stop playing. Rocket Rush. Stinger's in trouble. Brain Sap will go. Nightmare comes out. Stinger might survive here. He's slowed up from the call down. They just need 2 or 3 more right clicks. There's the homing missile. There's the flak hitting. One more.
He's dead for sure. Here
it
comes.
He's gonna die to this.
It's dead.
He's gonna try to deny himself. Deny himself.
Nice. That was hilarious. He was able to make it out, but mid lane, time dilation, chrono, sunstrike, all for Mr. Z-Talk here. Even a rocket barrage is a cherry on top. He's gonna be coming out from the Mighty King. MJW will get credit for the kill, and Power of Friendship take right back what was once theirs.
Yeah, and this is... So they've lost a couple of kills for Infamous, but they still... Here's the one good thing. Excel and Infamous both farming exceptionally well. He's going to have his Desolator here probably at 13 minutes, Dakota. He's already got the 1 Mithril Hammer. The second one's going to come out after the Ancient Attack, and then it's 300 gold for the recipe. The Desolator goes and makes your hero so much more effective in either fighting, pushing down towers. They will lose this tier 1 tower, or possibly lose this tier 1 tower because of it. But still, that's fine. Call down will fly, and see if there's a fight breaking out here.
Looks like they will disengage a bit. Z-Talk, does he have 6 yet? No, he doesn't. We really need to have that magnetized now. That would be such a big tool to be able to kind of get anyone on the way out, or at least disrupt their play a bit. But it looks like he will have to find a bit of solo time, perhaps in the top lane. They take what they get and they walk on out. I believe by now this means the mech has been secured, so even options like Roche open up, make things a bit easier here for Power Friendship. Probably going to be looking to get rid of that bottom tier 1 beforehand. So it seems to be going down the checklist here, Maut, for Power Friendship right now. It's more on Infamous to kind of disrupt the motion here, and it looks like their start will be a smoke.
Yeah, this is a smart play. They have Excel just picking up his Desolator, as I talked about. They're going to try to find a fight here, but there's a lot of team fight abilities ready for Power Friendship, at least in a little bit. They have Call Down coming up. There's no Chronosphere for 35, so they don't have those abilities just yet, but Infamous just goes straight for the Roche. They have the Desolator. I was going to say Power Friendship don't take Roche, but sooner rather than later, Infamous will be the ones to do it. They're already in the pit, and it's falling very quickly.
This is a high-risk, high-reward play, and it's been spotted out. Mario moves in and lets him know the jig is up, and just as fast, Infamous got to get the hell out of there. They retreat out, but look at this. They caught out MJW. A kick stun, a pull silence, and he has nothing to do about it, but going in. Call down is going to just annihilate the TA. Power of Friendship. Don't even think about moving into our Roche or our neighborhood. We're going to go ahead and get you the hell out. They are able to get the Faceless Void, but they lose 2. And now it's, up to them if they want to be able to move in and get the Roche. And it looks like they will, Maut. Thank you for starting.
That was really silly. Like, there's no reason to take Rosh there. You go for a kill, you get a fight, you get 2 picks, then you head into Rosh. Like, why just go into Rosh when they're all around the pit? They were right here. They were here when they started Rosh. Like, you're gonna check that if they're off the map. I don't know. That was silly. They lose 2 heroes because of it. They get the Aegis on Power Friendship side. That puts them even further ahead now. 1,500 net worth advantage. They get more items coming out. A couple of arcane boots. They finish up the Helm for Snaking. The Midas is now done for Slicks. And their lead is only going to increase as these big team fight ultimates are up. And I don't think Infamous are going to want to fight into a push if they commit all these heroes down into the Tier 1 tower bottom lane.
Yeah, now it's being able to utilize these new level 6s that are on. I mean, they had to already commit the Fiend's Grip there, but now we have the Magnetize to work with, and if they lose another big team fight, it's all downhill from there now with that high-risk play. Mid lane, they do lead in, but it's a response. Quick silence does come out from Z-Talk, though, the cancel Black Hole, but there's a Chrono as a follow-up, and they will go ahead and easily rid of Kotaro Hayama. His TA will be dropped, and they're looking for more. Here comes Excel, though. Mighty Stone Gaze going to be setting the playing field, and they're going to quickly wipe the floor with 2. Now it might be a retreat play for Power Friendship. Snaking cannot stand this, so he wants to stand and fight. Freezing Field will come, but it'll be canceled just as fast. And now with rolling out, Z-Talk will just run right into the CM and take her out of the picture. Power Friendship back in action again with the help of that Aegis. Sunstrike will miss. Good stop play there, but oh my god, what a bloody mess in the mid lane there, Maut.
Yeah, and you know, that Aegis really, I think, was the big thing. If they had lost Snake King, like, if they had actually lost this year, it would have been a big problem for them. But they did get to Kotaro Hayama. Excel, like I talked about, like, there's a bad stigma about Medusa not being able to fight early. You saw it there. Like, Stone Gaze, the Petrification came out. She I think, got 2 or 3 in stone for him. She popped up her Mystic Snake. That owned a couple of people, doing a lot of damage. She had level 3 split shot. She went to work there after popping the drum charge as well, I think. And she just went to work. She got a couple of clean kills. That was going to be a great CM multi, but Z-Talk had 2 amazing silences to start the fight off. And I think without those, it would have been a real big problem. So Z-Talk getting off the geomagnetic grips and helping his team at least even things up, and keeping it still level here.
I don't think he did a magnetize, though, still. I don't know if he knows how the ult works or not, but I want to see the R button get pressed. I mean, it may not feel like you're going to be getting a lot out of it when there's just one, but if you know if it's going to be a big fight, you can chain it just off the one person and using your stones appropriately. So it's not as efficient, but he did definitely get a lot of big plays there to stop what could have been a horrible situation. They're going to be moving for Mario, set up with the kick and the silence. That's just Mario going very deep to get a very risky ward. He will pay with his life, and they already know it's there, so they're going to easily plant the sentry and get rid of the ward. So all that effort for nothing.
Yeah, that's just... I like the play, but sometimes, I mean, you have to sometimes get wards up like that. You have to go deep. You'd like to see a smoke instead, like smoke with your team, get the ward up, try to find a kill, but other times you just need that deep vision. Understandable for him to go for that ward. Still gets caught out, though, nonetheless, and they find a clean kill for themselves, and that's going to provide them even more gold going the way of Kotaro Hayama and the rest of the crew. And he's still top in net worth. He died twice in a row in a really bad spot, but he still has the Desolator and 1,400 gold, whether that's a Blink, perhaps a BKB, Yasha. There's a lot of options here for Kotaro Hayama, and we'll see what they can get done. There's also a lot of golds left in these outer towers, these tier 1s and tier 2s, this top lane in particular, which gives a lot of room for Power Friendship to farm in their own jungle as well.
Yeah, definitely would be ideal here for Infamous to be able to get something so they could get a lot of that free money that's still on the map for them, but it's just a matter of being able to have the ammunition to kind of take those kind of fights. And I think being able to get that BKB, I would hope it'd be a BKB here on the TA that could help make that kind of plan happen. Being able to kind of not fear from the hefty damage coming up from the gyro, the freeze lockdown from the CM, or even the Malphus, or anything at all from the Invoker.
There's not much right click. That's the thing too. Yeah. Like, that's the really important part.
Oh, Stinger gotta be careful. Quick sleep onto the Invoker. Now looks to make it away, but they're gonna have the Nova fly out. Stinger still gonna be caught. There's the Yule setup. Here comes the classic Hocus Pocus combo from Invoker, and sure enough, it's a quick and easy kill, and Slicks has secured a killing spree now. Here comes Power Friendship down the mid lane. Maut, they got Black Hole, they got Mech. They got everything they could ask for to make this happen.
Yeah, they're making this push at the perfect time. There's no BKBs up. Slicks is starting to do really well for himself. He's caught up effectively. He's now 30 net worth with the Yules. You saw what he could do with that combo. Immediately blows up Stinger. They're going to pop up the Mystic Snake, try to stop this push. But you can see already with just a moment or two here at this tier 2 tower, they're going to be able to take it down to half health. Top lane is getting pushed in, which means Snaking will have to rotate back as he's trying to finish up his S and Y. He's getting close. and go to work. In fact, he's going to have it very soon, which is very important. So, I mean, Power Friendship are hitting their stride. They have now the Vlads up onto the Decisive Sword with level 2 Chronosphere, all the ultimates back up. Really, they just need to make sure they continue to put the pressure on so that Excel doesn't get enough farm to continue this in the late game. He's got the Yasha now, but I think Power Friendship are in a good spot if they try to keep pushing here in the next couple of moments.
Just as they drop a sentry, they see Kotaro Hayama in Viz. He looked like he was going to have a big setup. Now goes for the TP out, and he will be fine. A call down going to be committed to scout that one, and he actually did commit for the blink here. So they're hoping that he is going to be starting to string in the big kills and be able to kind of set the stage for this Medusa to be the the final bow, if you will, Maut.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. They have a couple of decent ways of stopping the refraction, the rocket barrage. Maleficus is pretty good midnight pull. So Kotaro Hayama is going to have a tough game because then I would have thought BKB might have been the better choice considering what they're up against, but he feels comfortable enough to survive with the blink tech, which is fine too. So it's still tough. I think if Power Friendship group up, if they can take the next Roche as well, they're going to be in a very good spot. But until then, we'll see how much farming they allow, if they're going to smoke up again or not. The Dragonlance, we haven't talked about the Enchantress really, but Greedy has that Dragonlance, and we'll start either towards like maybe a Force or something along those lines. Usually you'll see Aghanim Scepter, but he's picked up a Staff of Wizardry, maybe just for the extra mana pool, which is completely fine too.
Yeah, my closest guess would probably be the Force, just for the extra maneuverability, maybe to get someone away from a Black Hole for any sort of trouble. It's hard to say, but having that Dragonlance definitely does open a lot more damage potential so that the Enchantress could be positioned a lot safer, and that's when a lot of that deceptive damage comes out. You're in the midst of a fight, you're looking to land your big hole, you're looking to get the big Chrono set up, and next thing you know, you're like, why am I almost dead? It's like, you just probably ate 8 javelins to the face. And, we're going to be seeing Power Friendship smoke and go on the prowl here. You know, with a big setup, this would be easy tier 2 action.
Where did they smoke? Did they smoke here? Is there a chance that this happened like here too?
Yeah, it might have.
Is under attack.
I don't know, because it looks like
gone top. I think they know.
Yeah, they either know something's up or they really just want the Steel Tower. Either of which are fine. Excel should be picking up a Scotty next. Usually you go for casual Yasha into the Scotty or some other item that gives you some sort of mana. Because, like Sphere, for example, because Manta, you just don't have the mana to actually have enough mana with your mana shield and a Manta usage. So Scotty should be the next item for him, which is very strong. We'll see if that's going to be actually the case, as he is enough for the Manta right now if he wants it. The tier 2 push will continue for both sides. Stinger and Crew will go up at the top lane. They'll be able to push this pretty quickly with Desolator. They have a double damage run as well. Mario is setting himself up, but it looks like they won't be able to defend this. The glyph will go on both sides, and it looks like it'll just be a casual tier 2 for tier 2 trade. But this is better because Infamous will get 2 towers instead of the 1.
It did look like Weitu was TPing up there, but then his TP was canceled, so he decided to pull off on that one, and they'll end up just trading the tier 2s as it is. There'll be no response from either side, and they'll just kind of get back into the grind of farm, it would look like here. We might not see too much until the next Roche, which the timer has revealed, and it looks like we've got about a minute and a half until the Roche will come up, and it's going to be a bit of a doozy here. Infamous know they bank something like that, it could be a good stepping stone to get them right back into a bit of a wash, and definitely be able to stall out the game even longer here for this precious, Medusa.
Yeah, I think they need to find a smoke kickoff gank. Unlike what they did last time, if they just try to go for Roche again, it's going to be probably a disaster. So I think if Infamous can get a smoke here within the next 30 seconds or so, maybe a minute or so, and find a pick, that could translate into Roche. But if they don't do that, they might just have to let it go. They're kind of getting close to being able to fight here, I think, as they're getting the next big items. But if you look at the items coming in for Power Friendship, they're getting a couple of good ones as well. Atos, Blink for the Void, Blink for the Invoker. Snakey has his S and Y now. So we're getting to that point where Power Friendship are feeling very comfortable about themselves. And I think Infamous really need a smoke pick-off here to find something. And we'll see if that's going to be the case. And it looks like it will.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the way the game is progressing, Power Friendship will have a much bigger peaking moment to be able to be the stronger 5-man kind of a team. It's definitely on Infamous to either do an aggressive smoke play like you're mentioning to kind of disrupt things a bit. Ooh, they almost get caught doing a smoke gank right towards that mid lane. Or if, they're going to have to just find some other method to avoid the pressure coming from Power Friendship. Either pushing the side lanes and forcing them back from a hard commitment, or, I don't know. Being able to take them head on is not going to be any sort of easy task. So it's on Power Friendship to kind of force Infamous back, but hey, they're taking those kind of measures. My top lane is pretty far pushed in, and it will force them away. They're going to quickly get the tier 2 finish off, but that's all they'll be able to do.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to TP back to top lane, but the best thing is that Power Friendship played as 5. They knew that there was a smoke going on. They knew what time it was. They knew Roshan was about to respawn. So they dodged the gank. They know that there's not much vision on the map for them in their own jungle. So they just stray away from that area. They head top. They head, together back towards Roche as well. And they stay alive. And they might actually just be able to take Roche if they can get some good vision up here. And it looks like Mario has a ward. He'll place it down. I don't know if they can take Roche. They don't have the best Roche taking lineup. Maybe with Eidolon, sure, as well as the Gyrocopter they can, but it looks like they're really more concerned about pushing all the waves out first and foremost before they head into that pit.
We got a good chunk of money here on Mr. Kotaro Hayama, nearly 4K already saved up. And banking this would be, the BKB
full
now.
BKB? Well, yeah, he should buy full BKB. I'd be very surprised if he bought anything else.
We'll have to see. I mean, for now, just kind of holding the money in reserve. I don't know if he feels like it's already necessary to kind of keep a side bank for the buyback just in case, but the fight could potentially break out in the near future. It's Power Friendship already make their move into the pit, checking over the vision right now. They will see Mario is stopping the Centaur from coming in, which can only mean something fishy's happening over there. Infamous, I think I do anything to stop it. Yeah, it's going to be too late. Power Friendship get the easy and quick Aegis.
Just really good. Push the waves out. Make sure that you have vision around the pit. Get into the pit and try to take it as quickly as possible. And they're successful in doing so. It doesn't help that Kotaro Hayama had to go back home. He TP'd back as they were taking Roshan. He just picked up a BKB, as we talked about. But yeah, that's now with this Aegis picked up for Power Friendship. They also get the gem out for the CM. This is going to be their time. Clear up any wards and traps on the map. Make sure you push out the waves and go for a push. They can try to push that top tier 2, or they can go for a tier 3. They can maybe wait for the next item. Snake probably goes for a BKB next. Could go for a Butterfly, which is also very good in this situation, considering there's a little bit of magical damage, but not much. So maybe just wait for that BKB for snaking or whatever item he's going to buy next. But definitely keep the waves pushed out.
Looks like they'll do what they can for the top lane and then take their business back down and below. They're going to be doing this a bit in the dark. Hopefully by now Infamous with all that pressure they saw towards the mid lane, the bottom lane before that, they could have gotten some extra wards down in the Power Friendship jungle, but oh nice, little sleep and TP out there from the Bane, and he's going to make it away. So they're not going to get any sort of free catch, and Infamous continue to kind of string this game out, and as the clock ticks, the chances for Infamous to have a bit of a comeback get a little bit nicer here. Their high ground is respectable, and with Stone Gaze, really anything can happen as far as being able to disrupt the fight a bit. It's a matter of Power Friendship are going to be able to get the jump on the Medusa, let's say, but I would hope for the sake of Infamous they would have appropriate position to not allow something like that. And, it's not like Z-Talk is near an Agnum Scepter. I mean, of course, that would make pushing into the high ground very, very scary, even with the nerf. He has Aether Lens, by the way, so... But it's a while for that, so I'd have to say is that the game goes on, Infamous are going to be content. I'm curious to see when Power Friendship, they'll want to be pulling the trigger. And as I say that, though, Maut, they smoke.
Yeah, they're going to try to find a pick first. And this is the huge hero to go for. But Excel's pretty fast. He had a haste rune. He's going to have his phased in drum up, so it's really tough to catch him. He's going to back away. He knows they're kind of all missing, and they have not great vision, but that doesn't matter. There's nobody farming top lane. So this is the thing, like... They're not at the point where Medusa can fight really solidly yet. She has decent damage, and survivability is really the biggest thing for her right now. She has a lot of it, but she just needs a little bit more in terms of damage, I feel like, whether that's like a full Manta plus Butterflies when she's going to, I think, hit the hardest. But they're kind of just trying to draw this out. And this is the problem. There's not a lot of really good deep push on Power Friendship side. They have maybe Invoker's abilities, Gyrocopter, Flat Kid, and CM. And that's about it, kind of. I guess you could argue Enigma, but there's not much good deep push for Power Friendship. But this means they could continue to split push kind of around the map, it looks like.
Yep, and we'll have to see how things continue to progress here. If Power Friendship are going to be able to keep the ball going here so they don't have to be stuck in a position where they'll have to rely on pushing out waves at all. Agnum's already done here for Greedy in conjunction with his Dragon Lance. He turns into quite a cannon of damage, if not acknowledged. And for a lot of the heroes selected on Power Friendship's side, unless they're able to catch her out in a chrono, in a big freezing field. I mean, to their credit, they have a crap ton of magical ways to burst through an Enchantress, but if they don't get a hold of her, then she could also be a bit of a problem. So it's starting to look more like it's going to be on the execution here of Power Friendship to make sure they get the most out of these fights. Otherwise, comeback potential is there for Infamous in the form of a Medusa turnaround, TA, Sideblade action, or whatever else it may be.
gonna go for the tier 2 push. There it is. They get the tower. It is gonna be the butterfly picked for the gyrocopter. The smoke is up for Infamous. They'll try to find something here. They might go for the wraparound. This is gonna be sketchy. I don't know where they're going. They're not going the right way. They're kind of setting a trap here, it looks like, actually. Yeah, they are.
They're catching him on the way out. Quick Fiend script. That Enigma going to be taken care of. A jumping Chrono will be able to catch 2, but it's MJW looking to do it alone, and he gets put to sleep, so nothing comes out of it. This could be an opportunity for Power of Friendship to maybe get a bit of a comeback, but it's all Infamous right now doing the work. They quickly burst down 2, the first life of Snake King, and they're going to be able to get the second, still reserving the Magnetize. I got to say, a well thought out plan right there, being able to kind of put themselves in that position, knowing that, you know, Power of Friendship are going to be coming out that back door and trying to get back to the farm. They just cut them off at the pass, and they make a big fight work.
They take out the Enigma, which is essentially, obviously Black Hole is very important, but Guardian Grooves is immediately out the door. The Chronosphere kind of missed on Kotaro Hayama, but he did zone out a couple of other heroes, but he just doesn't have the damage because his face is void, and he doesn't really do much with the items that he has. And this is huge. I mean, it's going to turn Infamous. It gets them essentially to the high ground here and allows them to start putting some pressure. And it might have to force a buyback for the gyrocopter, but they'll jump in with the tornado. Meatball will fly. Kotaro Hayama will actually be able to blink away somehow with the refraction up and ready to go, and they'll back up. They don't want to try to push up to the high ground just yet, it looks like.
Just hoping to pressure a bit. I don't know if they were hoping to get like an early bait out of the buyback from Snake King, but they're happy to take what they can. And look at this, even on the way out, Kotaro comes across a mighty stack here, which he will be happy to gobble up. He does have his BKB complete, but Maut, look how much ridiculous gold he's been able to put on top of that since. He has a Demon Edge already, and 2.4k. He's about to have an MKB before, you know, Snake King even gets his butterfly complete. He has the Eagle Song now, but that's about it. This is going to be an ineffective butterfly.
Yeah, it feels like maybe Power of Friendship have waited too long to push into the base, but I don't know, they couldn't have seen that type of fight coming. I felt like if they could take a 5-on-5 fight on their terms, they'd be in a good spot. Stinger, Cold Snap, no bash needed. He'll get time dilated and right click down. He's trying to Nightmare, but that will not save him. He'll go down. And so another take going back to it. Power of Friendship. Excel will take some damage. There's the homing missile as Excel's trying to get TP'd out, but Snake can go and work the Rock Project. Pops up the Mana Shield. This will make him inherently tankier. He's going to pop up the Stone Gaze. Here's the Sunstrike, and it just hits, but look at the HP. 4 HP is going to walk away and somehow survive. That guy needs to not do that, but good stuff.
My goodness. Barely makes it away. Stone Gaze will be on cooldown for quite a bit, but do Power of Friendship have the potential right now to be able to make something out of this window? We'll see. I mean, maybe looking for setup as they rummage through the infamous jungle side, but suddenly the clock's going to be ticking, and they're not going to be able to do much with it. I mean, it was a nice effort, but there we see the butterfly come out at the same time as the MKB. I'd have to say Infamous now seem to have be the team with the better raw damage. Even more pressure on execution here from Power of Friendship. They can't get caught out in crafty little complexity like smoke arounds anymore. They got to make sure that they're the ones taking the fights and doing them on their pace.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to initiation. I feel like Power of Friendship have so much in the tank. They have so many team fight abilities. They had such a good lead. It's actually in favor of Infamous now, not by much. It's pretty much even at this point. So there's that little extra oomph of team fight coming out for Power of Friendship. There's the Aegis, as I talk about that, for the Faceless Void. So it's now a 5-second duration, almost 6 for that level 16 coming up. So if they get the initiation, I think they win the team fight 9 times out of 10, even against the amount of damage that both the Excel as well as Kotaro Hayama are pumping out. But it comes down to who gets that first jump, though. That's really what it comes down to.
Also, as they continue to itemize here, it looks like Medusa picks up a quarterstaff in the meantime, so I don't know if that's alluding to a potential butterfly or something else down the road. We'll have to see.
Dire's bottom tower
but a lot of eyes towards this Roche Pit. A committed hard jump coming out from Power of Friendship here as they try to catch Lady Medusa. They will get her with the cold snap, but now she looks to turn around with the Stone Gaze. They try their best. They Yules her up, but look at this. The Fiend script goes on to MJ White. Way 2 walks in. He can't get off the black hole. He's silenced up. Nicely done from Z-Tuck. Now the Magnetize will fly, and look at the impetus damage coming out from Greedy. It's going to be able to secure the kill on the Enigma, and now Snake King runs in, mighty as hell, but he's going to be quickly taken down. It's all Infamous getting the most out of this fight. And it was all started by Power and Friendship looking to engage, but what a wonderful turnaround coming out from the Radiant side. And now they push down this bottom lane.
Yeah, Stinger had an amazing Fiend script up onto MJW, who wrapped right around that tree line looking to find up Excel on the Dusa, but he got Fiend script, and then all of a sudden, you talked about the Earth Spirit, he came through and destroyed that team fight. The silences came up, the Magnetize did a ton of damage, and from that point on, it was really just the 3 main damage dealers coming into effect: Excel, Kotaro, and Greedy. The amount of damage they pump out is ridiculous. Sunstrike will be sidestepped by Excel. They'll hit up to the tier 3 tower. Now the Invoker will come through with hit up to the Tornado and EMP as well. There's going to be the usage of the Refraction, and they might just back up here. I don't know if they're really looking to go on this. They will take the Razor Axe quickly, at least try to put some damage on it, but they're going to head out now. They pop the Drum Charge. Slicks is on the hunt, though.
He is. Can he get the catch? There's going to be the Yules. He's looking to kind of conjure together the whole Invoker combo, but he's only got enough for the little Deafening Blast, but that is certainly enough with the Cold Snap. And he gets the assistance. It's going to be a simple little Bane takedown, but most of the damage had already been done. Even the little creeps looking to finish off what was started on the range racks, but they won't be able to get it in the end. So some good base work there from Infamous, and with that, it might have kind of been a slap on the nose there for Power of Friendship. Now, they really need to make sure that they, are going to be well and prepared for these fights. That's them looking to dictate the fight like we were both talking about, but even there, it's just they didn't have enough or didn't factor in how close Infamous were on being able to turn it around.
Doesn't it just feel like Power of Friendship have the harder lineup to execute? Because that's what it seems like right now. Like, they have to get off. They have really good abilities that they need to get off. It's just that they're not getting them off based on the fact that Z-Tox like silencing them. He's just getting off like a couple of silences or like a couple of good Fiend scripts coming out from the Bane, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I guess we're useless now because we can't use our abilities because I'm silenced for like 5 seconds, or I can't move because I'm sleeped or nightmared or, Fiend script up. So it's really the tough part. And they have a ton of damage. I'll let that thought. It's Inferno. Kotaro actually might die here.
What? Nice 3-man stun, 2-man silence will help a bit, but obviously with all of that firepower, it's not going to be enough. TA goes down, has a buyback here, but Slicks ain't done yet. He makes the jump now for Z-Talk. Z-Talk, though, with that Force Staff, will be able to make it over the cliffside and out the other way. Good heads-up play from him. Slicks ain't done, though. He's going Ghost Walk right now. He wants to cut him off on the way out, and it looks like Z-Talk has already taken his business straight up north to continue the hefty push that's already going into the high ground from Power of Friendship. So as they push down this mid lane, they have to deal with the side pressure that's coming, and just like that, they're going to have to pull off.
Doesn't it feel like Z-Talk's actually owning this game right now? That's what it seems to me.
It is, and it's like we said, I mean, with that nerf, it doesn't change all of this of Earth Spirit. None of this has been changed at all. He's still very potent. He still has the long-range rolling boulder in, a great range of silence. With the Aether Lens, that silence range goes that much further. His stun range goes that much further. The way he can just mitigate the stones and refresh the Magnetize becomes a lot easier. He can position himself perfectly in the fight, but I like this response. Power of Friendship do sneak themselves into the pit, and before Infamous can realize what's going on, they lose it. And now fighting in Excel, popping the Stone Gaze here. Gonna look to just knock down MJW. They got the nice follow-up silence, so he will not be able to time walk away. And just as fast as they got the Aegis, they're gonna be losing it there. Snake King does fall, and as he comes back for round number 2, they get a kick stun onto Wake 2. He's not gonna be able to get off the BK. He can't get the black hole off. He gets silenced now from Z-Talk. They roll in, Magnetize. Finally, he gets it out there, and it's going to be able to assert the kill, but the Magnetized damage could continue to come out, and here comes Kotaro! He jumps in, gets huge side blade damage. Now Slicks, after eating the cheese, he lives on, but will quickly fall there after all 5. End up going down from Power of Friendship. Infamous pull out one hell of a fight, and end up taking it.
Z-Talk's the MVP of this game. There's absolutely no other way around it. That stun was the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. That actually was ridiculous. First of all, they're fighting 4-on-5 for like 90% of that team fight. They do not have Kotaro Hayama. He's still dead. So even if he respawns, he has to TP down bottom. All right? So he's not even there for most of the fight. They have to fight into Aegis and Cheese. The big thing that really helped in that fight was the fact they killed MJW almost immediately with Excel going to work on him. The Chronosphere was not up. He got wrecked. He died. No freezing field. They were too busy trying to finish off Roche, and they got the Aegis almost instantly. So right from the get-go, Power of Friendship were in trouble. They were looking to turn it around once they could get that black hole off, and if they had gotten it off on time, maybe that fight goes differently. But again, it's just Z-Talk stopping it every single time, it feels like, whether it's a silence or stun or something. The Blink might not have been the best choice, and Way 2 knows this. He's building into a BKB now, but that's not really that shocking, Dakota, at all.
it's just they have so many ways to stop all this huge team fight and all these huge cooldown spells. You have to really try to get everyone in, but Infamous have not let themselves be clumped together as a 4, as a 5, or anything like that. They always have someone on the outside to kind of change it up, whether it's a Z-Talk, which I'm sure they recognize how crucial his position is in this game, and they always make sure he is not in the fray of these fights. Power Friendship need to be able to get someone like him out of the equation faster. Slicks moves in under Ghost Walk, but they drop a sentry here, and without a black hole, they're going to be looking to take a fight. They got the Abyssal lockdown on for Wave 2, but here comes MJW with a big chrono. Meanwhile, Mario, huge freezing field, gets great damage, and it's going to pretty much take out the Enchantress from top to bottom. They will also bring down Kotaro there at the end with the power of Slicks after the nice turnaround play from MJW. So this is the start of what could be a big comeback for them. They're looking to take this now and push past the river while they can. Kotaro is out mod for 70 seconds. No buyback.
Yeah, exactly. No buyback. He had an Abyssal, but here's the problem. That was a great team fight for Power Friendship. They do a great job segregating it. Have the two heroes, Stinger and Enchantress, focused down on the other side of the river other side of the map by snaking. Hold that thought. Excel's going to get caught by Slicks. Gets up the Yules, looking for Alacrity. He'll find a Deafening Blast. Will go. Can they bring him down? There's the call down. The body block will fly. The EMP, they need it to hit. The EMP hits. He's out of mana. He's getting low right now. There's going to be the usage of that Stone Gaze, but he's still stood up. Snaky will be out of the stone form in just a second. Excel will fall. Dead for 86, and just like that, because they lose a couple of heroes, Power Friendship off the back of Slicks are able to find a huge pickup. He does have buyback, and of course Kotaro is back up for 30 seconds.
And Power Friendship, they're looking to move in. They're looking to force out that buyback right now. They don't want Medusa to be nursing up that huge bag of money, and she will chomp. Here we go, set up with the sleep. A kickstun will be there, catches 2. Power Friendship not really able to get a lot done onto this tier 3, but they're persistent, looking to engage again. They got the black hole here, way too, winding it up right now, waiting in the back for it. Greedy moves in, eats a lot of pelting damage. It's going to be forced back, but now Excel shows her ugly mug and starts slithering her way down into battle. Z-Talk, a swing and a miss. It looks like it will be on the rolling boulder here. And we'll have to kind of step back a bit. Repositioning here from both sides. Power Friendship feel like that this is going to get a bit too awkward, and they just hightail it the hell out.
Yeah, that's great play. I mean, they didn't get the tier 3 tower. Would have been amazing if they'd gotten that, but they got so many big kills. They forced out a buyback, so if they kill Excel again, they might be in a good spot, almost good enough to get the game. So they know that, and they're going to try to focus him down, and next time they can, they're going to just immediately back and smoke it. I think this is great. It's pretty much a fake back call. With Black Hole now up, with Chrono back up, with Freezing Field up and ready to go, they're going to head bottom. These aren't the two most important kills, but 2 kills like this are going to make them get this game. But Stinger will inevitably fall. It looks like the Malphus will come through, and he's just going to get destroyed. He's going to try to Nightmare himself. Now, fight might break out. They're going to have to back away. Luckily, it looks like Greedy was able to get out in time. So he has a blink dagger now. He blinks back up to the high ground.
No Bane, though, means that this Enigma, this Faceless Void, can feel a lot more comfortable about getting these big ults off without having to worry about a pesky little sleep or Fiend's Grip to stop him. It will mean that Z-Talk is still there, though. So already commits 1 stone. He actually only has 1 stone remnant left. That is not a lot. I'll tell you, Maut, when you have less than 3 stones, you are not ready for a big fight. So you got to be able to make the best out of that situation. He might have to reuse that same stone there for the full silence, but that means the Magnetize is not going to be doing nearly enough of its optimal damage. And fortunately for him, though, it looks like there is going to be a bit of a pull-off here from Power Friendship, and they'll be able to kind of wait out the clock a bit.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and... Looks like Infamous are trying to get out of the base. There's an observer board, but it's more down to the south, so it won't scout out Kotaro Hayama leaving. Is Roche back up yet? No, it's not even close, really. So both teams are starting to get to that point where they're like, okay, well, we can win a fight. But it's just, it's actually so even right now. And again, it comes down to who gets that jump. And it often does, I feel like, in Dota. If Waitu could get this BKB, the game drastically changes, because then you have not only a Chronosphere almost guaranteed to get off, you also have a Black Hole almost guaranteed to get off. And what can they do? They have anything that'll stop it, that'll go through Magic Immunity? The answer to that question is Fiend's Grip, as well as Stone Gaze, but that's about it.
To see if it comes down to those crafty spells or not, to be able to kind of change it up here for Infamous, or if Power Friendship now are going to be able to kind of take back what was once rightfully theirs. After completing a Satanic now on Snaking, he's looking to kind of measure up by getting the MKB for himself. Is the Butterfly complete? Yeah, the Butterfly is there on the Medusa, so he needs a way to respond to that. Well, she also is going to be looking to pick up an MKB, or maybe, you know, for now, a Demon Edge, and worst case scenario, got to go for the Rapier. We'll have to see, but could be a very scary sight for Power Friendship if not ready. And if they're able to kind of take something like that into the other side, they will lose their base in the blink of an eye. So.
Yeah, that's frightening. God, I don't want to imagine a rapier, and I don't think he will go for you. I mean, it depends. Like, you're right though, he'll wait. He'll have the demon edge for now, and then if like lose a team fight, they're like, okay, let's buy rapier now, and then this game gets kind of crazy. But the MKB is very important for the gyrocopter though, so I imagine he's gonna pick that up. But we're getting close to this next set of items here coming out for both sides. Slicks is very farmed. He has picked up a Hex. He's had his Aghanim Scepter for a long period of time. His Wex move speed plus Ghost Walk. He's super fast at 522 move speed with Boots of Travel. He's just speeding across the map, and he's looking for potential pickoff. Maybe perhaps on Stinger, or Excel would be the more favorite target.
As he hustles, he's still not able to kind of catch any targets, so he'll just continue to move on through while they can. Do they have a gem here? They do. Mario does hold the gem. We'll check out the vision a bit. You can see it's not really too much here. At least for the side of Infamous, only that one deep ward. We look over the side here for Power of Friendship, and they themselves as well. Kind of lacking a bit in the vision department, which I'm sure they're going to be making up for here soon. Eyes on the Roche, though, as the secondary timer. Is that the secondary timer, that tiny little thing, or is it about to...
Yeah, it is. It's going to be up right now.
Man.
There it is.
Very small timer right here. Not so good for Infamous. Power of Friendship.
Well, they know they have a trap. They have a trap in the pit, so they'll know if... they know that it's up at the very least.
Are they in the position to take it, though? We saw last time Power Friendship took that down so fast. They're gonna have to be there, ready to go, and it looks like Power Friendship are gonna be making the first move. They smoke up now, Maut, and they're gonna be creeping around here. We're hoping to blink across. Kotaro setting down in the trap for the bit of vision. Oh, smokes pop. They get the vision on the high ground. MJ going to be committing in for the chrono here. Can they burst down the TA, who already has the refraction up? It's taking a lot of muscle power, and they can't do it. Excel steps in, gets off the stone gaze. Snaking, gonna get hit up, pops his Satanic, goes to work. Way 2 steps in with the mighty black hole, and Excel is gonna be taken apart. He has no buyback at all. 100 seconds he committed for the MKB. So this is going to be possibly the beginning of a downfall here for Infamous, not being able to roll away. Z-Talk will also be dropped. He has no buyback either. This is all Power of Friendship right now.
It comes down to the black hole, as it often does in Dota. He gets the BKB finally, and with the first fight, he pops it off. Stinger is not in position to be able to Fiend's Grip that. He was being taken care of on the backside. It just wasn't there. I'm not sure. And the impetus will go to work on a way too, but this should be at least one set of racks. They've got the glitch, they'll pop it off now, but Infamous, they're in a really bad spot. And Power Pressure can take this racks and back to Roche, just put on the pressure. They even get the Chronosphere under Greedy, they get the call down off. He actually gets Glimmer Cape, I believe. No, time dilation, that's what it is. They'll back away, they just can't bring him down quite yet. Rocket Barrage will go, but this will now be, it looks like another tier 3 and racks going their way.
I'm not sure if he got Snaking in the chrono. Snaking walked into it, but not having him available for the damage certainly doesn't help there, so Enchantress will live. They do move themselves to the bottom lane. They will get the tier 3, and it looks like possibly another set of racks. With this, they could fall back on for the Roche. Now, they are going to be making moves. Stinger gets the Fiend's Grip for MJW, who time walks away from the trouble, but it looks like he'll soon be going down here. Z-Talk with the last effort, steps in, magnetized, gets the stone off, but he has to quickly roll himself away from the trouble. Kotaro will be going down again, and I'm sure the white flag should be raised. Power of Friendship just about to secure game number 1 in this best of 3.
Yeah, this is going to be Megas. Excel's still down for 13. The biggest thing is Kotaro is dead for 106 seconds. Greedy will do all that he can with his impetus, but I don't see him being able to defend this really at all. They're going to have Chrono up here pretty soon again. In fact, they have it now. He's going to pop it onto 2. This will secure them getting Mega Creeps. They even get off a great freezing field. The victory celebration for Mario as they pick up 4, and that is it. It's GG to Kota.
Well played from Power of Friendship, but I gotta say it was some good hustle from Infamous, man. It looked like a game where they had a disaster of kind of a start. They managed to find the time to stall out, get this Medusa farmed up, and a lot of credit to Kotaro Hayama, man. He certainly found a lot of farm for his TA. I mean, I guess some credit will be, of course, given to the supports on being able to set it up. Z-Talk had many great team fight cancels there to kind of pull it back for him, but persistence, Power of Friendship, they are able to kind of execute with all those big ultis. We saw that big black hole, and they secure the win. I don't know if there's much else
that
to
was
say
just.
about it.
It was an impressive display. I thought that they had maybe too much team fight. It was going to be too difficult to execute. They walked that fine line between like right-click damage coming up from the gyrocopter, but it really came down to a number of things. I think despite missing a black hole or two, that one at the end pretty much secured them the victory. Slicks had a couple of amazing pickoffs, and just the team fight coordination as a whole was impressive enough. And this is a team, Infamous is a team that just beat Shazam Digital Chaos. They beat they did pretty well against Complexity. They beat Archon as well earlier on in the tournament in Canada Cup. So this is not an easy team to play up against. And Power Friendship, I didn't really give them a chance in this series. They've already taken game number 1, Dakota. So good stuff.
Oh, with that, we'll cut to a break. When we return, it's going to be game number 2 of Infamous against Power of Friendship. I'm KotLGuy. Joining me as co-caster is going to be Maut, and you're tuning in to BTS America's 3.